Hey yo, what is going on guys? CashinClean here, and for today's video I just wanted to go over things to do if you're lost in Trove, and lost as in like you don't know what to do, you have your character but you just don't know where to progress from here. So I'll give you guys like a little list of things you should go through. It's like a little checklist, and once you're comfortable doing those things you can start adding more to your plate, because if you're brand new there's a ton of things that you got to catch up on, but it doesn't have to be too complicated. You can go at your own pace, and no matter what you do in Trove you're always going to make progress as long as you're doing something. So find a goal that you want to work towards and then try to accomplish that goal. So the main thing with Trove is that you take a character, you level it up, and you give him power. And then from there, you kind of just have to break it down into little pieces. So how can I get this power? How can I get this level? And then what kind of builds those things? Like how am I supposed to get this powering type stuff? So those are the types of questions you may have. If you're an endgame player, this video might not affect you, but I guess you can use as like a little inspiration, or just if you have something to farm for, maybe you can break that down as well and try to farm for that. So anyone that's brand new to the game, I always tell them the same thing. There's a lot to catch up on. There's like a ton of things, but the main important things to focus on is, and I have videos for all of these, so in case you guys are wondering what any of this means, but weekly lunar souls, you need to get those. The Trove weekly reset is on Monday, so if you wanted to, you could farm them on Sunday and then farm them on Monday, and then just wait the entire week. And then from there, contests, same thing, it's a weekly basis. Starbar, that one's daily, so make sure you're completing your starbar because you want to get your qubits as soon as possible and as much as possible. And with that, you get diamond dragonites, which you will need for primordial dragons. Next up is leveling your class to 30. I have a bunch of XP guides on my channel if you want to check those out. It's not just dedicated to ships, there's other things you can do. So in case you can't access D13, or if you just can't find a ship, then there's other things you can do. And then something else you can work on is gems. And for gems, I highly recommend checking out my gems video, because you want to make sure you're farming your stellar gems to get to 30k power rank, and then your crystal gems to get even further than that. But if it's too complicated, then you can skip that one and go to this next one, which is your coin challenges, and those appear every hour. Sometimes you get a biome challenge or a rampage. For the biome one, you can do it, it's just really annoying doing it because you're gonna have to fight other people trying to do the same dungeons as you, because I guess a lot of people just kind of take the dungeons for themselves. If you've ever watched Yu-Gi-Oh, they're pretty much like the Kaiba of Trove in a way, and I'm not saying that's for like everybody, but that's something you may encounter. And on top of that, you have to fight the lag because there's gonna be a ton of people going to that specific biome. So I don't know, I think Game should just remove it in general, but that's besides the point. And then for rampages, you can't really do much there. You can't do that badge because you need 200 of them. I do not recommend going to Luminopolis in Neon City because finding L6 is going to take a while, and on top of that you have to fight it and you have 30 minutes. It's possible, it's just going to take a while. Unless you have like a cornerstone setup, that's probably a video on its own. You could do it for the one sentient shard, it's up to you, you just have to fight one of them. It's a time gated resource, so you may as well try to do it, but I recommend just doing all 6 if you can. But if you want to just get the one, then that's fine, but it's up to you if you want to do it. You could skip it because it's kind of confusing at the start. Just know that you have to do a ton for your badge, so just something to note. If you ever see it in chat, I recommend just doing it. But long story short, if you see somebody hosting like a rampage or a beacon, if you see that written in some kind of chat, you can feel free to join them. It's like an open invite, you don't have to pay or anything. And usually people that host that usually advertise in a bunch of channels, so if you do /join ship, /join delve, /join trade, or something like, I don't think they posted in trade, but pretty much all of the main ones, or /join 5 farm. Usually if somebody hosts a beacon, they might advertise in those channels, and sometimes you might not find anybody, but just in case you might find one, you can do that objective and get started with your badge at least. But with that being said, there's a lot of stuff to do. It may seem like I listed a lot, but it's not really as bad, because you're gonna get into this habit where you start Trove on the first day of the week, so let's just say Monday for example, and you do your weeklies, and then with your weeklies you can tie that in with your contests, so you can get that over with for the week. And then from there, it's going to be your star bar and then coin challenges whenever you can do them. So once you're comfortable with all that, you can move on to upgrading your gear. So a gear crafting bench and just finishing that profession. Just while you're farming, collect the loot collect it. It's kind of something that you just do on the side. You don't actively farm for that one thing. Everyone's going to need gems. You have to get your stellar gems. So while you're doing that, you can work on your gear crafting thing. So 2 things at once. The idea is trying to get your stellar gems. And the thing with stellar gems, do not worry about the stats. Once you make it to 30k and have the light requirements to get to D14, that's when you want to focus on stats. And for empower gems, you can make some exceptions, because if it's a good ability, you definitely want to keep it, because I'm sure you guys know the empower gem RNG is pretty horrible. So if you get a good one, or if you just get a 3-star, keep it. And worst case scenario, you can just give it to another class. If it's a radiant, just get rid of it. If it's a 2-star, you can keep it to level 15 or even level 20 if you wanted to, and then eventually just know that you're going to get rid of this gem, so loot collect it or give it to another class until you can get that 3-star or one with the ability that you want. So that's my advice. Keep on farming farming the gems, get the stellar ones, get the ones with the most power rank. If you don't know what I'm talking about, power rank related or gem stuff, you can refer to my gems video. Even though it's been a couple years, it's still up to date because it talks about crystal gems, which is what we have right now. The only difference is I think I probably talked about uber difficulties and not actual D14, but D14 is the same as U11. You just subtract 3, and that is going to be the main mission. So you don't really have to worry about other stuff. If you know what you're doing, by all means, just do your thing. Like if you know what you're doing, this is just like a little outline if you're lost and don't know what to do, or if you're like stuck, or if you just don't understand Trove at all. But that's the thing, you level up your character, you try to get to 30 so you get all of your gem spots unlocked, gives you a good bit of mastery as well, and then from there you focus on building your character. And my advice is to build this character up until 30k, but not only just 30k. I'm only saying 30k just so you can access D14, but once you're in D14, make sure you can solo it, and then you can begin your mastery grind. I see a lot of early gamers trying to focus on mastery too early on. Like you can, and I recommend that you do, but only passively. So if you're farming and you just get a random mount or something, or if you open a box and you get this random mount, cool, collect it, get that mastery, but then go straight back to farming power rank. And then if there's an event, you can go ahead and farm the mastery items because it'll save you time later on once you're an endgame player. Because one of the things with endgame players is that you have to farm event items. And if you're missing everything from an event, it's going to take you a long time to farm each thing. So it's recommended that you at least try to get something from the event, something new. You don't necessarily have to go for the packs, because if you're still new or just early gamer or even a mid-game player, you may want to save those credits for other things, like either personal chest space or inventory space. Those are two big ones. And then anything extra that you get mastery wise, so if you already have it unlocked or already have it learned, then you can sell that for flux and use that for your flux making strategy, because events are pretty good at that. If you have some event items, go ahead and sell them. It's good to wait at least a couple months after the event is gone. I say a couple, definitely a lot longer, just so the prices increase. But if you desperately need the flux, then you can just sell it right away. There are other ways to make flux, and I do have a flux guide if you're struggling with that. And this kind of ties in with the flux part, but kind of not really. But I would say your tomes, you have weekly tomes and you have repeatable ones. Any of the tomes that you have that are weekly, I do recommend completing those. That's the other final thing that I do want to mention. If there's anything else, please let me know in the comments down below. It could help somebody out, but tomes is huge because if you have, let's just say the meta matter tome, for example, you can just keep using that tome to get the meta matter that you need to upgrade your modules instead of having to actually go through those caves, farm crystals, and then filling up your reliquary, going through that entire process. Whereas if you have the tome, then you can just complete that naturally while you're farming other things. And that's not the only tome, there's a ton of other ones. But yeah, that's like the main stuff that I did want to talk about. So tomes as the final thing, and then everything else that I mentioned. If there's something else, please drop it down in the comments down below. Here's on what you guys think. But that is going to be all for today's video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you guys later.